Matt Bernier, joined by DRF National Handicapper Mike Watchmaker, the third and final race for this Saturday's Weekend Warrior. We go down to Laurel Park, a nice day of racing down at Laurel, and race number 11, no different, the Grade 3 Commonwealth Derby. It's not a big field, Mike. You've only got 8 3-year-olds that are going to go a mile and an eighth on the turf course, but you do have a couple interesting runners in here. You're going to go with Shug and the number 5 Profiteer.
Yeah, Profiteer, I think Voodoo Song will be the favorite in here, and I think Profiteer might be second choice, but I like Profiteer, and he just, to me, he completely fits the profile of the typical Shug McGahee late developer. This is a horse that McGahee's taken his time with. He showed flashes of ability early in his career, and I think he finally tipped his hand last time, so to speak. I mean, that's an old racing cliche, but I think it applies here. When he won an allowance race at Saratoga, that was a pretty salty second-level optional claim or allowance race against older opponents. And Profiteer finished very, very well in that race to get up just in time, earned a career best fire in 93, which makes him a definite contender in this spot. And now he moves back in with straight 3-year-olds. And I just think at this point now, every race that Profiteer is going to run is going to be better than the one before until he finally reaches his overall career arc. But I just think Profiteer, the cat's out of the bag now. We know he's a runner. He proved it with that allowance win at Saratoga. I think he's going to win a few stakes races, and I think he's going to start right here.
Profiteer broke my heart. That's neither here nor there because I had Sycamore Lane in that most recent
really?
start,
Okay,
which
sorry.
was unfortunate. It is what it is. We relived some nightmares. The number 4, drawn just to his inside, is Voodoo Song. Voodoo Song, Mr. Saratoga this past meet. He goes up there. All he does is win 4 times over the course of a 6-week meeting. For Linda Rice, he figures to probably be the favorite come post time. Is there any real knock against this horse other than the price?
Yeah, well, there are a couple of things you could say about him. I mean, maybe he's an iron horse. But he won those 4 races at Saratoga, and everyone should tip their hat to him for doing that. But that means he won 4 races in a 6-week span, which is what he did. And now he's coming back. I mean, yeah, he's had, almost a month, 28 days to be precise, to recover from that. But still, this is going to be, this is a lot of racing in a short period of time for this horse. And the other thing is, he's a speed horse. And for the most part at Saratoga, speed was really good on turf, and there were some days where it's absolutely dominant on turf. And I think in the main, the turf courses at Saratoga very much played in favor of horses like Voodoo Song, who's a speed horse. And, I don't think that's necessarily going to be the case down at Laurel in this mile and eighth race. So he's not carrying his course with him. He's had a lot of racing in a short period of time. The other thing I want to point out is, it is almost, we're nearing the end of 2017 now, Matt. And the time of his win in the Saranac, you won't see any fractions in the PPs, but you'll see a final time of 1:46. And that's just the best guess because for some reason in this day and age, we still can't time races accurately enough to depend on them. I mean, because the numbers that went up while the Saranac was actually being run were completely beyond all belief. So it's just the best guess. Don't get too thrown. It's probably in the ballpark, but still don't put a lot of stock into that final time.
You can use a watch as a telephone in 2017, but we can't time a horse race properly.
Can't time a horse race. It's unbelievable.
Makes all the sense in the world, doesn't it? Race
Yeah.
number 11 at Laurel Saturday afternoon. Big connections, nice pedigrees all over. May not be a giant field, but the Grade 3 Commonwealth Derby, it's a really fun race. Mile and an eighth on the turf course. Mike, you're going to go with the number 5 Profiteer for Shug McGahee and Edgar Prado. As always, great stuff. Best of luck this weekend. We'll talk again next week.
Thanks a lot, Matt.